start than with Frenzee's #1 draw bag, Mick Bull. So, obviously, you own this fishery and drew a decent peg in the Golden Reel Qualifier. Do you want to tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, I drew peg 1, which is the sort of fancied peg where everybody thought it'd be won from.
Best peg in the Midlands, apparently. So I was told.
Apparently it's better than 124 at Barston now as well. No, so what actually happened was I was working in the shop. I held back, let everybody else go first. And then once everybody had gone, I said to Phil, can you just draw me peg 1 out? And Phil Briscoe, good as gold, peg 1, and that was that.
Brilliant. I'm sure there was a few disgruntled faces about at that point, was there?
Yeah, there were. Yeah, got called the odd names, you know, like you do, but...
Yeah, get used to it after a while.
Well, I don't know about that.
So how did the match go? Obviously, you caught a big weight, I think, in the end. What did you have?
I think it was 272, I think.
Yeah, so big weight.
Well, it was a big weight, but not really a really big weight for that sort of area. What tends to happen on that peg is, especially this time of year, the sun's out, there's fish, mugging fish everywhere, you know. But on the day, there was fish everywhere until about 20 minutes before the off, and the cloud cover came over and you couldn't see a fish. So I have caught a few shallow on the pole to begin with, and I've ended up fishing the rest of the match really on a waggler and a bomb. Right,
chuck it across to the far bank, or
no, down. It's like a bit of a bay. So you're at the end of the lake. You've got a bit of a bay on your right hand side, and I was casting down there.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's a peg with loads of options, isn't it? I suppose that's where a little bit of venue knowledge comes in. I suppose.
Yeah, it's a really big peg as well. Yeah. You know, so I had plenty of room. Even though you couldn't see the fish, there was plenty there.
Yeah. I mean, them type of pegs sort of. There's loads of options. It's easy to get confused, isn't it? But I think, like you've probably just said there, on that type of match, when you win with a big weight, generally you have a fairly simple day, don't you? You pick your methods, bit of venue knowledge as well. Obviously, no one will know the venue any better than you do, and sit down, make the most of it.
Yeah. I mean, they don't normally put pegs 1 and 2 together. I actually had peg 2 in as well, and fair play to him. I think he was second in the match. He fished a lovely match. He's caught shallow most of the match. In fact, he was probably 60 or 70 pound in front of me to begin with. So I had a bit of clawing back to do, which obviously I did.
Yeah, brilliant. Yeah. And looking forward to the final?
Yeah, can't wait. Yeah, it'll be my third Golden Reel final. Obviously not done any good in it ever before, but hopefully third time lucky.
Yeah, it only takes the one time.
It does, yeah, we all know.
Obviously Larford's a venue you know well as well.
Yeah,
so,
I do, yeah.
Fancy your chances in that one?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
So I think everyone's glad to hear that Mick's in the final. Everyone at Frenzee and hopefully everyone else, the other side of the screen, is going to wish him the best of luck. And from me as well especially, good luck.
Cheers mate, thank you.
So as you're aware, I've not managed to get out this weekend, fully aware. You keep rubbing it in. And I suppose you're going to tell me you've been out more than once this weekend?
I've had a busy week, yeah. Obviously, earlier in the week I was out filming, went out with Mick Bull at Meadowlands, and then me and you were out the day after that, which was Wednesday. Yeah. Then Thursday's filming got cancelled. Weather was a bit too hot. We didn't want to come out in that, but can't sit in the house in that, can you?
No, of course not.
I went to Oaks on Cedar Lake, which I went the week before, and I think I come 4th, but I had loads of problems with roach, really done my head in.
What, these type of things?
No, small, tiny, like you don't even catch them, they're that small, but the constant bites, constant indications, it done my head in a bit. And I was I didn't really want to go again, I'd got that annoyed, but after a few days I brought myself around and thought, right, gonna go again. So I went this time, and maggots shallow, casters shallow had been the bait, couldn't get hold of any casters, it was a bit short notice. So I decided to fish maggots.
Okay.
But this time I fished a pellet on the hook, which is a bit of a strange combination, but it seemed to get rid of the roach a little bit.
These,
and I could sort of keep my rig in the water.
So before you couldn't feed through them?
No, I think I've had 13 pints of maggots a week before.
Right, okay.
It was just a nightmare. So this time it was a bit better, fed a few less. Red hot, so like you know, once it's red hot, the first thing you want is a bit of shade, a bit of cover. And I drew peg 7 on Cedar, which is on a bit of a bend. You've got sort of a long margin, and although that's in the sun and the sun's shone on it all day, there's a bit of a bush hanging in, something for the fish to shelter under. So I caught most of my fish there. There's a lot of shade on the rest of my peg, but never really caught anywhere else, to be honest. Caught up to this bush, sort of 8 to 12 inches deep, really shallow, loose feed and maggots heavily. And like I said, fished a pellet on the hook, a red pellet, so it sort of matched a few of my red maggots. That maybe that didn't make a difference, but it's sort of in your head a bit, isn't it?
Yeah.
I had a really nice day early on. It was hard, but early on I kept getting odd bites, only little F1s, sort of little pound stockies, but I kept putting a few in the net, caught maybe 40 pound in the first 4 hours. And then last hour and a half, like always with F1s, it came a bit better, and I caught another 50 odd pound. And I finished up with 91 pound, which put me second, beaten by a 97 pound. Looking back, maybe a little bit slow, sort of when to rest my line and come off it and go back. But in the end, I just persevered on that line because I couldn't get a bite anywhere else. And it's like I sort of just stuck and sat and fished it. And I just get little runs 2 or 3
why don't you
fish.
think they're coming in and out them shells then with their Cedar? It's obviously like it's a snaky lake, isn't it, Cedar, for people that don't know. And obviously you got them short shells, shallow shells, both sides.
Yeah, I don't know. It's strange. I don't know if it's maybe the sun, the weather, but for whatever reason this year, I've only been these last week and this week, the first 2 times I've been, but obviously speak to people who go, and for whatever reason, all the fish seem to be on the near side of the lake, and most of the weights are getting caught shallow down the edge. So there's a lot of cover, a lot of reeds, fold a few over and fish to them, and that seems to be the way to catch them, and definitely was on this match. Chris Kendall won that one with 97 pound.
Oh, so it was close.
It was close, and then Gandhi was third with I think 87 pounds.
They're always close there, and there's a really good standard.
Yeah, 10 pound between us. And then Friday, again, thought, what else is there to do? Get myself out fishing, and I went to a new venue for me, Sykehouse.
Right, okay.
I think you've been before, have you?
Yeah, so that's down south, a little bit further down south.
Yeah, and that was brilliant. It's a rover, didn't really know where to go. So I had a little walk round, found an area where there was quite a few fish, but then I drew number 22 out of 30, so 31 I think.
It's a good turnout then.
Yeah, very good turnout.
For Friday, yeah.
So I got told a few flyers, obviously they'd gone, the area I'd seen the fish, most of them had gone, but because there's over 30 on, they let you sit next to someone on Match Lake. So I went in the area I'd seen a lot of fish. Unfortunately I was sat in between some anglers. But I had a really nice match again. I caught, to start with, muggin, caught probably 100 pound in the first 3 hours.
Wow. Okay.
Sort of just chasing fish around, flicking it in front of them.
These good fish, these are big fish? Or?
Like sort of 3 to 7 pound, probably average out 5 pound. Nice fishing. And then for an hour and a half, they were everywhere and I couldn't catch one. Didn't matter. You'd flick your rig and think, that's perfect, I'm going to get it. Nothing had happened.
So can you turn your rig over there?
You can do, yeah, but none of that worked. Flicking it in front of them, they just seem to start ignoring it. I don't really know why. Maybe it's time of day, air pressure. All sorts of things affect them, don't they? And I think some of it's probably beyond what we understand.
Yeah.
And then last hour and a half, like normal, carp o'clock, fish are coming in close, and I caught another 70 pound fishing sort of a top 4 in 4.5 foot of water, thrown in 6mm pellets and fishing an 8.
Have you been feeding that all day? Or?
Started feeding it sort of halfway through because I wasn't planning on fishing it till late. Looking back, I probably should have fed it from the start, and when I've had that spell not catching, probably should have went on it then. I would have caught some more. But finished up 6th, so snuck into the frame, 170 pound.
Good.
240 won it, 230 second, another couple of 200s, I think 196 or something might have been 5th. So brilliant fishing again, brilliant, can't wait to go back there.
Yeah.
Not a massive fan of rovers, to be honest, but fishing's brilliant, so I'll definitely go back.
Yeah, well, it's difficult when you don't fish the venue regularly to know exactly where to sit, isn't it? So you sort of just bit of watercraft maybe then. But I suppose you didn't catch anything down the edges because obviously you got anglers on the other side.
No, well, to be honest, where I sat as well, I only roughly looked at the area and I had 2 big trees hanging in, couldn't really fish there.
Yeah.
So that's what made me fish that.
And the winning weights were similar tactics? Yeah,
some people caught shallow, some people caught muggin. I think the winning weight he caught down the edge, to be honest. He was on Stock Lake, I was on Match Pool, peg 20. Just good fishing.
Sometimes on them rovers, it's like, sometimes you get the back end draws and somebody will go and sit somewhere where it's a bit quieter and they'll allow them fish to come in, won't it, without any so much pressure, where anglers will go to the favoured areas. Yeah,
and looking back, that's probably a mistake I made. I should have picked that lake, seemed to fish very well, lots of fish everywhere, and I probably should have sat somewhere with a little bit more space, give myself a chance to draw fish into me, but like I said, it's hard on a rover.
So we ain't got to the weekend yet?
No. Saturday? No, I didn't go fishing Saturday. Went out with my wife for the day. So Sunday, back to Oaks again, Ash Beach in Sycamore.
Right.
Drew a brilliant peg this time, peg 11 on Sycamore. And I know what you're going to say, Adam, you always draw a brilliant peg. But really good, I love Sycamore. It seems the most consistent lake generally.
Yeah.
And I had my usual match really. I loose fed meat, mugged a few early. To start, it was really hard. First 45 minutes. With fish everywhere, bow waving about here, there and everywhere. I couldn't catch them. I caught 3.
Does it change from the weekend to midweek matches? I know you go there in the midweek matches. possibly a few less on the bank.
Yeah, space, exactly.
So
yeah.
weekend matches,
Sort of 40
did your approach change, or is it just
not really? No,
less
just
slightly
few less fish. A lot of fish mugging. Again, I've caught loads this year, but it's not mugging like most places. You're not searching around picking fish out. You are a little bit, but you tend to feed, and the fish sort of come towards your feed area, but don't really eat your bait, and they just mill about, and you can mug them around your feed. So the more I fed, the more of these muggers that come in, and I'm catching a few after that first 45 minutes, which was rubbish. Then caught really well. And with 2 hours and 10 minutes to go, I put my fourth net in. I started on my fourth net, it was already in. And I ran out of bait. So even though I'm mugging, obviously the more you fed, the more fish come in. And I noticed, and I started cutting back, and not as many fish come in, so I stepped it up again, and I just ran out, and I didn't have any more meat with me. And my last 2 hours and 10 minutes.
Is there a limit there with meat?
No,
I
wasn't planning on going originally. I only had 5 tins with me, could have done with another couple. And I've caught £42 that last 2 hours and 10 minutes. It was a real letdown, but I finished up £202. Brilliant fishing, can't complain. And only won my section with that. Gandhi next to me, £250. He comes second. Craig Ebrell won it off beach, 290-ish.
Right,
so brilliant fishing, yeah.
I know. Like obviously fishing there regular, and all these venues, you get like little certain methods that just sort of stand out, or maybe even sometimes. I mean, have you got like a Sesse secret or something that you want to like divulge, or is it something that?
The big thing for me, and especially this year, in other years you might be fishing for £400 and you've got to be catching all the time. This year's not like that. You're fishing for low to mid 200s, still a big weight, but not quite as hectic. And I think the big things keep busy. So I spend a lot of my time messing about, changing lines. I'll mug a few and I'll drop in on the bottom at 5 metres, maybe get a run of 2 or 3, come back, mug a few more. Just keep busy, make sure you keep catching something, keep putting something in your net, and come the end of the day you've got.
And you get that, don't you? For weekends, sometimes that's how you've got to approach it, haven't you? Like midweek, sometimes it's just a straightforward, like 2-line approach. Weekends, a few more people on the bank, fish react slightly differently. Yeah,
and what you find there is you'll catch sort of maybe 3, 4, 5, 6 fish in a run, but that is literally like in, got one, in, got one, in, got one. And then you sit there without a bite and think, right, change. Maybe mug a couple, drop back in short, have a go shallow down the edge, and that's it for me. Take my runs of fish and then move on, try and get a run somewhere else. And
do your tactics change from the rig wise, or do you fishing still just same rigs?
Yeah, pretty much the same. Nice and positive. Light floats, to be honest. I fish light floats, but strong lines, big hooks. Make sure we don't miss any bites.
So who's made the frame? Who's beat you?
Craig Ebrell won it, £290-ish. Gandhi was second with 250. Chris Kendall third. He's been on a brilliant run of form there lately.
He won the Veterans National in the week at Lindone.
Yeah, caught loads of fish. And then, I can't remember after that, but there was a 229, 228, 224.
And 2 tins of costumes and 2 tins.
Yeah, I think I wouldn't have caught what Craig Ebrell caught that one, but I think I would have caught over 250, so probably cost me coming second. But lesson learnt there, I think, be a bit more prepared.
2 more tins on the shopping list then.
Yeah, definitely. But so yeah, that was it. A busy week. Plenty of fish that I've caught. Really enjoyed it. Weather's beautiful. Unfortunately for you, not being out. But what he hasn't told everyone is tonight, after filming, I'm going straight to work, and he is fishing the evening match.
It wasn't something that was planned. It's just something we've dropped on. So we're out here today, and there is an evening match tonight. So
looking forward to that.
Yeah, I am. Yeah. I mean, you've put me on. Is it the furlong?
Furlong.
The furlong over there. So I'm going to maybe. We'll put some Maggie to approach and see what happens.
Sure we'll catch plenty and come back next week. Let everyone know what you've caught, and good luck.
Okay.